for the people who are not able to join. And I'm just getting my video camera in place. In the meanwhile, you can please turn on the cameras. It's good to see participants live. Good to see who we are talking to. Also, Nibir, if you can help, Nibir and Gauri, if you can help admitting people. A lot of
Sure.
people are. All right, and I'm getting Gauri, and you can introduce yourself, please.
Vikram, did you
Introduce
say
yourself.
something? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Gauri Kamath from Thane, Mumbai. Sahaja Yoga is a very wonderful journey. It has been a wonderful journey for me since the last about 20 years or so. This September 23rd, I will be 21 years young and in Sahaja Yoga. I have retired as a teacher in 2015, and since then, I have been only practicing Sahaja Yoga and trying to talk to people about Sahaja Yoga. Now, this pandemic has been a blessing for me in disguise because I was not tech savvy. Even now, I'm not that tech savvy like you youngsters, but to a great extent, yes, I'm able to manage. So, as far as the things are done all right, I'm happy. And to talk about how my journey has been, it has been an achievement for me because my life is to be totally different. And after starting meditation, one thing I would like to tell each one present here from my experience, if you do it from your heart, don't use your brain. Sahaja Yoga is no way connected to brain. If you do it with your heart wholeheartedly, everything works out on its own. Believe me. Don't want to have anything else, but just meditate with your whole heart. It will simply take its own, and it will be a very positive thing that things happen. You don't have to worry at all whether you're a student or working, or these youngsters like Nibir, they will experience it as they proceed further. My son was 11 when he started Sahaja Yoga, so now he is on his own. Of course, only if you meditate, you will get the fruits. So first preference goes through meditation. I
Thank
think
you,
that's
Gauri.
enough. As we talk, we will proceed. Yeah. Thank you, Vikram. And we must all thank Vikram for all the trouble, the pains that he takes to bring us all together. And this has been my dream, to meet every Sahaja Yogi in the world.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter if it that doesn't matter even if it is online.
Thank you, Gauri.
It's
So thank
great.
you for
Yeah.
sharing your
Thank you,
stories.
Vikram.
All right. So today the time going to be of
Yeah.
stories and experience sharing, and also we can do some brainstorming. So the topic for today is how do we build regularity in meditation, and Sahaja Yoga is practiced in more than 100 countries. So we have participants who are fairly new to Sahaja Yoga, or probably who tried sometime in the past. We really like to listen to them first before we move over to the people who are kind of established. We also want to hear their experiences. All right. So I think before we start, we'll have a little bit of some rules here. Please turn on the cameras. We like to see your videos. Good to see who we are talking to. Also, we like to welcome all the learners. So if it's not just for people who are established in Sahaja Yoga meditation, but also people who are fairly new. This session is for you. We're here just to support you. And all right, and let's start with some icebreakers here before we get into the brainstorming sessions. We'll have some icebreaker polls. So I'll be launching a poll, Zoom poll. Please, you can give your responses to that poll. All right, and yeah, let's start with this Kitty first. Do you think she is thinking on the past or about the future? Nibir, what's your take?
I think she looks very focused on the present from her eyes.
Looks like true.
Yeah, but her right ear is going a little bit on the right. Probably she's more interested. All right, great. Let's enjoy a little bit more. So I got some icebreaker polls for you. All right, so let's start with the first poll here. And the poll is about how do you classify your food habits? So I launched the poll here. I think a lot of people are joining. Nibir and Gauri, you can help admit those people.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the first poll, how's your food habit? The options are you omnivorous? Are you selective? Or probably you're more of a vegetarian or vegan, or probably you are eclectic, which means kind of not fixed, you're just kind of evolving. You can have your own mix and match kind of thing. Let's see here.
Is the poll on? Because I don't see anything on my screen.
Yeah, probably you're the co-host, so you don't see it.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Okay, all right. And those of you not comfortable with video, the session is recorded for the benefit of the people who are not been able to join. If you're not comfortable, you can keep your cameras off. Fine with that. I hope, yeah, we can see a lot of participants. We got 33 responses. Anyone else? Yeah, let us know what your food habits are like. Good morning, Mila. All right, let's see what the polls say finally. All right, nobody's eclectic or evolving. I guess the word was too tough. So yeah, we have selective. That's great. Next is omnivorous. All meat and vegetable welcome. And yeah, we have some more of vegetarian and vegan as well. Great. All right. Thank you for sharing this one. I've just shared the results. 35 participants. I believe we have more. It will be good to hear from more. All right. Let's have the second. Welcome, Bimper. Let's have the second poll. This is gonna test your English vocabulary language. No Google search, please. Let's see. So the question is, what is the closest meaning of the word soliloquy? Soliloquy. Okay. Sorry, I made a sort of a spelling bee contest out of this one. Soliloquy. Options are a type of meditation involving autosuggestions, a type of a Greek chorus, a chronic condition leading to uncontrolled talking. I think a lot of people have it. And the last one is speaking one's thought aloud by oneself, even when nobody's hearing. So let's hear, what's the meaning of the word soliloquy? Okay, I think everyone is pretty good. The English vocabulary here. So 30 participants have responded. Maybe a few more can do. So for the participant who just joined, we are just having a poll here. The poll is about the meaning of the word soliloquy. So if you are,
It's
I hope you're
actually pronounced soliloquy.
soliloquy. Great. Yeah, great. Thank you, Alan. We have a British here with us, so he knows his English, right?
I'm not
Irish.
British. I'm Irish.
I'm sorry. I know. Huge
It's
difference.
okay. I'm more Sahaj than Irish.
All right.
True.
Great. We got 32 answers here and a lot of. All right. Just keep a watch on spam, Nibir. Sometimes we get it.
Sure.
Right. So let's see the answers. Great. We have people with great English vocabulary knowledge. It is speaking one's thought aloud by oneself. Wow, wonderful. Everyone did pretty well. Now we have the final icebreaker here. Let's see. The final icebreaker is, let me stop sharing this one.
It's okay.
Now just one more icebreaker. And this is about how do you handle anger. So this one is slightly tougher. Yep. So how do you handle anger? Options are, for those who are following us on the YouTube, option one is I don't get angry. I think that would be Nibir. Option two is give back as good as you get. That probably might be me. Option three is choose distraction. Choose distraction over anger. Option four, sometimes I try to see good in the situation. Yeah, I got beaten up, but maybe there's something good about it. And option five, you want to really talk about it. You're angry with someone, so you want to talk to them. You want to handle that issue. Maybe you have other techniques as well, not covered as part of this one. Thirty-one have responded. Yeah, okay. And I think someone ended the poll. Nibir Gauri, did you end the poll?
No.
Okay, so might happen. I guess Zoom was getting angry. So, yep. Here's the result. So, yeah, we have 10% who don't get angry. Thank you. I'd like to hear from you how you do that. Give back as good as you get. Yeah, probably one. That's more like me. Use distractions. Nice. Try to be good in the situations. Even better. You want to talk? Excellent. And there's some others. I believe those are things like forgiving and all. Thank you. It's good to know all the participants here, and I'd like to welcome all the participants. You can turn the cameras on. We'll have an interactive session here. So yeah, and Nitin also wants to talk. Nitin, you can talk. Let me just check the security settings. I hope I've enabled everyone to unmute themselves. Yeah, everyone can unmute. You can share your videos, and yeah. All right, let's just go around. Let's see what's we're gonna do here. All of you who are joining for the first time, learners, we want to hear from you first. You are the guest. You're the one we want to hear from. We've seen participants who have great interest. They really enjoy the sessions, but for some reason are not able to continue. And we want your frank feedback. Really frank. If you think that this is not good, if you found something better, we are happy for you. We're just here to help out people, in their evolution, in their spiritual growth, in whatever benefits you're looking from meditation. So please feel free to ask any kind of questions you have or your feedback. We are here to listen to you. The experienced practitioners like Gauri, Didi, and Alan, please share your story in brief, not more than 5 minutes. We have to cover everyone if possible. And please try to use the common terminology. Sometimes we use the Sahaj or spiritual terminology, which will be difficult for many of us to understand, the newcomers. So yeah, please use that. So let's see what is the typical feedback. We do not have much of the feedback here. The feedback is in terms of the session, the first session was too long. Someone suggested that we need to get a lot of feedback during the session. And one common thing is, yeah, people got busy with other responsibilities. Those are few of the things, I know of. I know one story where we had one Italian school teacher and we really helped her out. And then she finally got it. She thought that meditation is about doing a lot. Then she said, oh, I understood. Meditation is about doing nothing. It just happens. But then what we found out, she said, no, I also want to try other things. So I think that's fine. People are looking for the best of the options they can get. So yeah, so this is something we know, but we really want to hear from you, all the participants who are joining for the first time. Now, what do the yogis, the Sahaja Yoga practitioners tell? This is Chris here from Perth. So their typical feedback, how they got regular with meditation. One of the common things they tell us that they had someone very close, a friendly, a neighbor, someone they could really trust and who held their hand along in the journey. So I think that hand holding was really important aspect for them. That's how they got regular in meditation. Now, the second thing we heard from one Dr. Andre and so many other people is that, they had good experiences, but they did not doubt it. What happens, you have experience, then you get busy, but they got such a belief in the experiences that they say, okay, this is something what I need. And in spite of the fact that they had their ups and downs, they tried and they never gave up. And ultimately they got regular with the meditation. The third most common option, this is something that Nibir can relate to here, is that they really needed it for whatever reason, health and the kind of issues they had in life. So they were desperate and they did not give up because they felt that nothing else is working. They got to try it out. So those are three common options that we heard. So this is it, and we'll go round table. Really, once again, if you can turn the cameras on, it will be great. We really love to see everyone in person. We want to see who the person we're talking to. Myself, I'm the moderator, Vikram, along with Nibir. I'm based in Pune, India. Nibir is in Chicago, and we'll go round table. We'll call you by names, and I hope you'll give your feedback here. So nice. Some people have turned the cameras on. Nice, wonderful here. So I think we'll start with the cat in the room first. That's Constance. Constance, is that you? Is that your?
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello,
Very-
Constance. Yeah, cat first. Yes, Constance. Tell us about yourself. You tried meditation before?
Yeah, I have tried, and I have tried actually different techniques, and it happens that I have a like I think more theoretical knowledge than regular practice experience. So let's say I'm still wondering because like I have tried a couple of paths, and I'm still wondering if a Sahaja path is the one that will take me the fastest to self-realization, or should I try something else? I have tried recently light and sound meditation. So there is Dhyana, there is Dharana, and sometimes I just don't know what to do about it. So I do understand that I need to choose one and stick to it, and apply myself regularly, and then I will see the results. But I'm still looking. So maybe you
Sure.
guys can help.
Sure, Constance. We like to help. Let's see if we can just hear from some other newcomers. So then probably if the questions are common, maybe we can consolidate. So the first question is that Constance is trying different things, and she just want to know which is the quickest one, which is the fastest one. Thank you, Constance. And where are you joining us
Thank you.
from?
Oh, from Montreal, Canada.
Montreal. Okay. So abhi mademoiselle?
Right. Constance is all right.
All right, great. All right, let's hear from some other participant. We have Chanika here. Chanika, you'd like to unmute? I know you're taking a walk. If you want to kind of speak up.
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead. You tried meditation before? Tell us your story.
Yeah, so I've tried meditation before, and before Sahaj Yoga, but I've never experienced a meditation like Sahaj Yoga ever. It's never gotten me to a point where I can feel my actual spirit. So yeah, it's been great, but I've been having trouble just being constant with it and creating my own practice. So I've felt some amazing things during meditation, Sahaj Yoga, and I'm learning that if you don't have that regular practice, it's not something that will stay. But I couldn't find out why I wanted to do it. I didn't have like a personal reason as to why I wanted to do it. I love the experience, but I didn't have a reason why I wanted to go back and do it every day. So now I've gotten, I think in one of the chats there was sent out like a pamphlet of mantras for silence. And so I brought that out yesterday, and I started reading it, and I learned what the mantras are actually for and how they help us tap into our subtle system. And so I think that really helped me learn how it's happening. So I experienced it, I liked it, but I really needed to know what was the importance of the mantras, and why we do them, and what we're evoking when we're doing them. So that was important. So now I'm just looking forward to learn from you all and tips on how to stay constant, because I got my why now. So I just wanted to say that and say peace. I'm really happy to be here.
Sure. Thank you, Chanika. And where are you joining us from?
Texas.
Where are you joining us from? Which city?
Texas.
Texas.
Oh, San Antonio.
State. San Antonio. Great. All right. That's the 7th largest city in US. Okay, great. Thank you, Chanika. So I think we have different questions here. So let's see if we can answer those two. I think if I take more questions, we'll forget what the questions were. We start with the question from Constance, and she was asking what's the fastest way. So let's ask someone who was fastest in getting it. Let's see, Sarah, you want to answer this one? Yes, I had the fastest way to get it. And requesting answering Yogi to please keep it below few minutes, 3 minutes, not more than that. So we can take more questions. Sarah?
Did you just ask me?
Yes, I refer to you,
All
Sarah.
right. Okay, the fastest way. The thing is, how I understand it, Sahaja Yoga is definitely the fastest way. It happens in a split of a second. But the thing is that so you have your self-realization. That's the very first experience you have, and it comes out. The Kundalini comes out as a cool breeze, and your thoughts start to still, and you come into this inner state of peace. And at the same time, you don't quite believe you've got your self-realization because it's so subtle and gentle. And for some reason, you think it's going to be this big experience that, I don't know. But sometimes also it really, there's some discomfort as well when the Kundalini is working. And so you might really not feel like, okay, this is it, So in some ways, it's, for some people, it is quite difficult to recognize that this is the thing. This is the path to clear my chakras, so that I get the full awakening. It's like what happens is you just get the first 2 or 3 strands of Kundalini coming up. And through constant practice, as in like a little bit of time in the morning and the evening every day, you gradually clear your chakras more and more, and then you have more and more experience. And at the same time, sometimes something that's very fast, sometimes, is just asking the Kundalini. Ask the Kundalini just from your heart, gently, humbly and sincerely. Please let me feel the cool vibrations. Please let me feel the deep joy of the spirit. Please let me feel. Please tell me if this is the correct path. And you get your answer. You get the answer in the way that you will understand it. Some people might get a cool breeze. Other people might get a rush of joy, just all sorts. So in that way, sometimes you get a very fast answer to that question, but sometimes you might not get an immediate answer, but you might get an answer the next day or something like that. Something happens to make you kind of really recognize it. So that's my answer. You're muted, Vikram. Are you not muted?
Oh yeah, I'm muted.
Yeah.
Sorry, got an off mode. Yeah, thank you, thank you, Sarah, for sharing this one.
I think there's a question regarding what Sarah just mentioned. Like, what is a little time? Is it like 10 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning or evening? Like, I think that is a common question.
That is a good question, because I think what happens is that you need to just not spend too much time often in the beginning, because you can just sit there and get a bit frustrated. So 5 minutes to sit, 5 to 10 minutes to sit with your hands open, and just perhaps keep gently pressing the top of your your Sahasrara chakra, so that you keep your attention up there, because that's being in meditation, having your attention up there. 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and in the evening. And somebody might tell you about foot soaks, because that's like really, really a great thing to do in the evening, so that your meditation the next day is a lot better, because you've cleared from the day before all the stuff from the day before through the foot soak. So there's a movement forward of clearing the chakras. So, but I think gradually you actually increase that time, because you because you enjoy it and you want to increase the time. But there's also other things that you learn to do in your meditation, like mantras, watching Sri Mataji's talks, various things that can kind of fill up a whole hour where you're in thoughtless awareness, but you're not necessarily just sitting there. You know, you might be saying mantras, you might be watching others talk, that kind of thing.
Thank you, Nibir. Nibir, so I think we have a lot of questions coming in chat. We just try to complete this one. Jeff, you can take the notes so we can summarize.
I'm doing
So
that.
I think so. One interesting note that Sarah gave: don't try too much in the beginning. Just kind of go it easy, because you might feel frustrated sitting for so long and something still not happening. So yeah, great. And I think the second question we'll take this one from Chanika from San Antonio. And yeah, let's see who can answer. Uncle Alan, if you can answer. Alan, if you can answer this one. And your clock will stop in 3 minutes. So
remind me, what was her question?
her question was,
why did she want to do it?
Yeah, why she want to? Why she should? And why? How can she get? Why?
How can she get the motivation to go back each and every day?
You see, there's no substitute for desire, because without desire for self-realization, you're not going to get anywhere. So the strength of that desire will help you, or in its absence, it'll be a hindrance. So why would you want to do it? To me, and I was depressed from the age of 14 to 47. From the time that I had my self-realization, I was never depressed again. So I had experienced a miracle. My desire was therefore very strong. So it was just a wonderful thing to wake up every day and to meditate for 10 minutes before I went to work. I think that's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And Vivek would like to add something here. Thank you, Alan. Yes, he squeezed in his 30 years of experience in less than 2 minutes. Thank you, Alan, for sharing this one. Here we have Vivek. Want to add in, Vivek?
Yeah, hello, everyone. I would like to add, for the new beginners who are doing this, it's like initially training your mind to come to that, let's say, a place where you can sit for quietly for, let's say, starting with 5 to 10 minutes. And then what I did when I started, it was the same thing. Like I was not getting any kind of calmness or quietness. But slowly, when I did this every day, I kind of made my discipline to sit for, let's say, 8:30 my local time, where I have quietness for another 10 or 15 minutes, like nothing is pending for me. So I sit down and play one music every day. So the mind gets trained slowly that, okay, this is the time I need to sit. And now it is happening. Then when I don't sit, it feels like I missed something, and something of great value. I'm not like doing that ritual, which I'm supposed to do. And slowly it happens. I know the fastest thing is to get the realization, which we all had, but make it constant is a practice and a discipline you need to come into. Just listen to one music which makes you calm at that time. It will help you grow eventually. That's my thoughts.
Thank you, Vivek. Thank you for sharing experience. I think Medina has a lot of questions here. But before that, just go to Mila here, Mila Leffel. Mila, still around? Yeah, I think you had a question about the mantra for the silence. And you had any other question? If you can unmute yourself, please. Mila Leffel.
Is there a link or something that you can share how to do the mantras? I've never heard of the mantra for silence.
Okay.
I do mantras on my own, which is where I have extended my meditation practice. Whereas before I started with Sahaja, and Sahaja was my entry point to meditation.
Nice.
So thank you.
Thank you, Mila. So yeah, we do have mantras, but what's your current practice? When you're doing Sahaja Yoga meditation, are you trying some other techniques at this point of time?
I am not doing Sahaja, yet I incorporate pieces of Sahaja into my mostly daily mantra for
Okay.
mostly Vedic inspired mantras for daily prep for the day.
Great. Okay. And you're regularly meditating, right?
I must admit that it has been very difficult these last few weeks, I would say month, due to personal changes going on and mundane issues. But I do them throughout the day in very short, I would say almost like speedy, very quick, short, speedy mantras or speedy meditative practices, not the longer practices that I had done before.
Thank you, Mila. Thank you for sharing feedback. Okay, thanks. So I think mantra we can just talk a little bit later. So we have a lot of mantras, but they're tied up to specific chakras, and that is something we share as we grow in Sahaja Yoga meditation. We'll just come to that part. Let's hear from Monica here. Monica Verma here. If you can unmute yourself, please. Monica, you had any questions? Tell us about yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's evening here. So, good evening. I'm just 1 year old in Sahaja Yoga. I do this meditation practice. I didn't feel vibrations yet. I kept searching for, I kept listening to everyone, but I tried many things. I tried many techniques, but I couldn't experience the real rising of Kundalini. I just heard about it, and I wanted to feel that, but I could not feel yet. So one day I heard from Mataji only, just don't rush after the things, the techniques, and just you just sit in calm and just say to Mataji that you are the child, you are her child, and everything is of her, and that's what I'm practicing, and I'm feeling much contented now. That's
Thank you, Monica. So great to hear that you got regularly, you got established in Sahaja Yoga meditation. So I think that's one of the common questions we get is about, I'll mute you, Monica, some background noise. Okay, yeah, some background is there. I think so. This is a question about vibrations. I think we talk about getting vibrations as you start doing Sahaja Yoga meditation, and a lot of us have interesting experiences, but it's not uniform. Some get it, some don't. Okay, so Monica's question is not about regularity of meditation. She has more about the fact that she's still not feeling that vibrations. Go ahead, Monica.
Actually, I don't get plenty of time to meditate.
Okay.
I just, while going to the job, I just meditate mentally. And in the evening, I sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Actually, when I heard from many people, I saw everyone is practicing in his or her own way. There are many techniques for one thing they are practicing. So I got confused a bit also. I got confused. Okay, what is the right way? What is the right way, actually?
Thank you, Monica. So I think that's a very interesting question. I think we'll take this one. So, let's hear from Diga here. So Diga, I think we heard about mantras, we heard about foot soaking. What is the right way of Sahaja Yoga meditation? Or what is the Sahaja Yoga way of meditation? What is it?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. Hello, everyone. I'm here from the UK. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. I think then let's take the question to Uncle Alan in that case. It's a kind of tough question. Diga, is that okay with you?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, no, of course, I was also willing to answer, but if he can
Yeah,
answer.
let's hear both the perspectives. We'll start with Diga first, and then we're going to hear from Uncle Alan as well. Diga, your answer, please.
Yeah, so my answer is, definitely with the hands open, raising the Kundalini is very important. So giving yourself a bandhan and raising the Kundalini, and also during meditation, just raising the Kundalini. And 4 years ago, when I started Sahaj, I always go to establish myself further to the collective meetings. So try to go to a collective meeting near your place. And if it's not collective because it's too far, then try to meet others, established Sahaja yogis who have a Kundalini that's maybe stronger and can help you also in the vibration. As soon as one or more yogis come together, the vibrations increase. And that's very important. And also the sincerity, the desire, never underestimate the desire to feel the vibration, to grow. And I've learned that as soon as I desire, and I ask this question very humbly to God and to my Kundalini, please let me grow, please let me feel the vibrations, then it's always answered.
Thank you, Diga. So that is answering the question, what's the right way? I mean, there seems to be different way in which we kind of practice our meditation. Alan, what would be your response? I mean, some are mantra, some are music, some are knowledge, some are desire.
Let's step back a bit, because if you look up the dictionary, most dictionaries define meditation as a way of thinking. And it can be. So I can say I was speaking to Vikram and I meditated on what we'd talked about, meaning I'd mulled it over in my mind, I'd analyzed it, I'd thought about it. So thinking is a legitimate way to meditate according to the dictionary. But of course, Sahaja Yoga is the opposite of that. It's about not thinking. How different could that be? And I think the second thing is that for me, who've been practicing this for 32 years and showing people how to do it, the key thing ultimately is to have some sense of what's different about Sahaja Yoga to all the other forms of meditation. And you can only find that yourself from going within. So to that extent, everybody will have a different experience at the beginning because they're arriving at this point, each of us at different stages of our life and development. Now, for example, in my case, when I started meditating, I could feel nothing on my left channel. That's the feminine side. And I can promise you, you've never met anybody less connected to their feminine than I was. So in my case, it took about 2 years before I started feeling anything on my left channel. But I knew this was working for me. And that's why I did it twice a day, every day. And that's why I would go along to a collective meeting in London where I was living at the time. So is that an answer to the question?
Thank you, Alan. So I think good to hear your perspective. So Monica, I hope you got some more perspective. So these are practitioners from different parts of the world. Thank you. Let's hear from some of the participants here. I know some chatting is going on. Let's also hear from some participants. We have one, let's hear from Orville here. Now, Orville is somebody who started online meditation like 2 years back. And Orville, if you're here, if you can unmute yourself. Orville is based in Toronto and he's pretty well settled in. Orville is still around? I think he dropped out. Okay, I think we can take a little bit of chat questions here. There are a lot of chat questions. Nipin, you want to pick up some of the summary of the chat questions?
Yeah, let me see. So I think one of the first questions was, it's related to, again, the knowledge about the Kundalini. So the question was, is Kundalini a spirit created from you or existing spirit, to ask questions? So if somebody can expound on what is the Kundalini and what is the spirit.
So I think I'll ask Nitin, that's his favorite area to talk about spirit and heart. Nitin, if you're here.
Sorry, Vikram, I was muted.
Right.
Yeah. Can you say again? I missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question was, what is the Kundalini and what is the spirit? Essentially that.
And we have Nitin, less than 3 minutes to answer, so we can go around all the parts.
Yeah, just helping people to distinguish between the two and, that.
So let me just say what I have heard from Shrimataji and experienced it. So Shrimataji said that Kundalini is the reflection of the primordial energy within us, the primordial power within us, and the spirit is a reflection of the God Almighty within us. So when the Kundalini rises, it connects the spirit, which is also here. So that union is called yoga. So that's what, in simple 2 sentences, that's what is Kundalini and spirit is. So that's the connection. That's
Thank
all
you,
I have
Nitin.
to say.
Thank you, Nitin. I'd like to mute because I think
Can I answer?
Yes, Vishal, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to answer. Yeah, actually, Kundalini is the energy of the love, and spirit is the energy of light.
Thank you, Vishal.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, all right. I think we covered everyone fairly quickly. I thought we'll have some more questions here. Some of the participants, I'll request you to unmute yourself. I would love to see. We have Debbie, Bemper, Ashley. Please go ahead and mute and let's hear from you. It will be nice if also you can turn the cameras on so we can kind of hear yourself. Let's also hear from Nandini in the meanwhile. Nandini is from New York. Nandini has become pretty regular now. Nandini, if you're from New York, you want to turn the cameras? There we have one gentleman. There we are, Orwell. Okay. Orwell is from Toronto. He started like 2 years back. Let's hear your story. Orwell, you started at a time when you had so many other people who started at the same time, but a lot of them could not persist with that practice. So what kind of kept you going in this practice? I know you started online and, sometimes online can be challenging. So what's your story, Orwell?
Let me say, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. First, when I started, it was right in the heart of the pandemic when everything is going haywire. And it was a blessing for me at that point in time. First, I was taught not to put any self in whatever I'm doing, in terms of not to use academics or anything, but just to leave yourself so open and neutral, just like the air, to understand what is happening. Don't try to dig too deep. And one of the things that I really admire was the collectives. So therefore, when I started, I would start to meditate. And at that point in time, I had the time to do the meditation because the whole world was basically closed down. So I could meditate in the morning, I could meditate in the noon time, and I could meditate at night. And during that time, I find that I grasp things so fast, so quick. And then what I realize is not to put timeline to anything, not to put, but just to be consistent. That's the key, consistency, and clear your mind of just everything. So therefore, don't try to say that you are going to learn this or learn that. No, and just be neutral. Just put yourself like a motor vehicle, just be neutral and enjoy it as you do. And when you start to see how powerful we are as a person, and you start to see the changes that is happening in your life, then you will tend to just keep growing and growing and growing. And for me, that was what happened to me. Till now, it becomes a way of life. I may not get to join a collective every day, no, based on work commitments. But you know what? Every day I give thanks. I give thanks for the pandemic. You know why? Because it prepared me now. So even if I don't get to join a collective, I do my morning meditation just the same, and I do my nightly meditation just the same. So therefore, it is very important for us to be consistent in whatever way and whatever thing that we are doing. Just be consistent, and if we can, join the collectives, even once per week. And that's my point. Sorry, I'm driving, but I have to make sure that I pull over to join this conversation because I think it was so powerful and I really enjoy it. So sorry about the background. I'm driving, so I just have to pull over to.
Sure,
be a
sure.
part of it.
Thank you,
Yes.
Brother Orville. And Orville is based in Toronto. He's Jamaican, and we enjoyed talking about cricket and other things, which is common to us. Great. And Orville started like 2 years back. And thank you, Orville. That was really powerful. I think some very key salient points that he said. I think that's a really powerful message. Thank you, Orville, from speaking from your heart. Okay, all right, that is really powerful. We still have Nandini, another one who is very consistent. Nandini, still there? Nandini from Bronx, New York. Okay, Nandini is having some troubles here. All right, let's hear from participants now who have been regulars, see how they overcome the challenge. Let's hear from Bernard. Bernard, I believe you have been regularly meditating. You can unmute yourself, please.
Hello everyone. Yes, I've been meditating for quite a while now. Yes.
So what is your story? How did you overcome the challenge in becoming regular in meditation when you started off?
It's such a long time ago now that I don't have much memory of it. But on a more practical side, when we talk about desire, I remember there was one particular occasion when I was going to bed one night and I thought to myself, I should meditate, but I didn't want to do it because I was tired and I wanted to go to bed. The thought of doing 20 minutes or more seemed to be too much. So I tricked myself. I said to myself, I'll just do 1 minute. I thought, yes, I could do 1 minute, even though I didn't feel like doing anything. Yeah, 1 minute seemed okay. And what happened is when I sat down for 1 minute, I started to enjoy the 1 minute and then it became 10, 20, 50. So I actually got the meditation done. The thought of doing 20 minutes initially sounded too much and just scale it down to 1 minute.
So I think we should be telling participants just meditate for 2 minutes. I'm sure they're going to meditate for more.
Yeah, setting like doable small targets. It's a good way to trick the brain to, get something done. And once you start enjoying it, it becomes more autonomous, right? Okay, go on.
Thank you, Bernard. That was a great tip. Thank you for sharing that. Let's hear from tip from somebody else. Let's hear from Sudeepa. Sudeepa has been regularly practicing. Did you trick yourself into meditating, Sudeepa?
I think it was a trick or such. It was a very needed thing for me. So what had happened was, my family has been in Sahaj Yoga for a very long time. I knew about the practice. I recognized Mataji. But in your younger days, it is generally easy to get very distracted, and there are excuses. So there was one point in my life when I realized that I needed some kind of an intervention, and that intervention was something that I was seeking. Like, how can I get the peace that I'm seeking? Because there were so many questions, and I was putting unnatural, unnecessary, and heavy goals on myself. So that kind of pulls you down, and I was very tired because of all of that. There were so many questions. So, and when that happened,
you don't want in Coffee Bean, why?
Nothing. Don't worry. That's the background.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sudeepa.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I wanted to feel kind of quiet, and I started meditating. I knew the balancing technique. I just started doing it every day regularly without worrying about the time. And, exactly 7 days later, I kind of felt quiet. Like all the thoughts, they just simply went away. I felt quiet. I was stuck on a problem. Like it was a technical problem that I was trying to solve, and the answer just appeared in front of my eyes. And I was like, it's very simple. How could I miss it? And what kind of motivated me was that all it needed was quietening of the thought, letting go of all expectations that I have of myself, and over a period of time, believing that there is something much more powerful than ourselves in this entire world. It runs the world, it runs the plants, animals, trees. Then who am I to hold everything towards myself? I'm not responsible. So when that feeling started becoming more and more accepted in me, when I started accepting it, I started letting go of things and started enjoying the moments, that these precious moments that I have. Like if you want to be somewhere and you're not able to reach it, it's not like that you should be there at that time. Probably this is the place where I should be, where I am supposed to be. Let me just enjoy this while. And it gives a lot of peace. It gives a lot of satisfaction, and it gives the value of the moments that we have. So this is how I started getting feedback, in small incremental steps, that if I do continue meditating, I am letting go of things, because all the affirmations that we say, they are for a reason. They are letting go of things that we are holding on to. We say those affirmations, we start believing in those, and then automatically we start letting go of the things which are kind of bogging us down. And that is how I became consistent, because it became my go-to. And now what I'm trying to do is every moment, like I kind of try to remind myself that every moment I should be at peace. Like earlier, my go-to action would be panic. Now my go-to action is, okay, let me just quieten down. Let's look at it let's not look at it. Let's just observe it. Let's witness what is going on. And maybe the solution will be revealed automatically. And it works.
Thank you, Sudeepa. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sudeepa had her own experiences, how she came through into this one. I think we'll just take the final question, and so that we can complete on time. We wanted to complete in exact 1 hour from now. I think this final question again, since there's a question from an Irish to an Irish, so I think I'll take it to Alan again. And this question from in the chat. And the question is from Mary Birne. She's asking, she wants to meditate. She really wants to, but she's not able to. What's your advice, Alan?
I honestly don't know. I think she should beat herself up.
Something better than that?
I mean, look, the dilemma is within. She wants to meditate, but she can't. Well, there's no substitute for sitting down to do it. As the gentleman just said, he would sit, he was too tired to meditate. So he thought, I'll do 1 minute. And it went from there. I think to trick yourself is really the answer to that. The other answer is don't do it. Maybe meditation isn't for you because you don't really want to do it.
Thank you, Alan. So I think we covered a lot of things. So Nibir, do you have the summary notes ready if you want to kind of summarize?
Yeah, yes, there are a few things which came up. I think I was able to note down. One of the first questions that came up was regarding the time. How long? 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Again, from what various people have shared. First of all, the idea is here to at least get yourself started, so set smaller doable targets, like Bernard shared, like he just went, okay, I'll just do 1 minute. So I think this is a very important point. Set smaller doable goals that your mind thinks is achievable, and then from there go on. And something that I would like to add with regard to the time as well, it is very natural for us to think of meditation from the perspective of time, because everything else in the modern world, everything so-called productive activities that we do, we associate a time variable with it. How long did you study? How long did you practice your music? How long did you practice basketball and so on to get better? Meditation also has that aspect of time, but it's beyond time. What I mean by that is that the factor of time is not that essential. What is essential is the depth that we feel. It could be even just 5 minutes. But if the quality of the state of thoughtless awareness, most of you might have heard this term, is good enough in the sense that we are not being bombarded by thoughts for those couple of minutes or 5 minutes, it can be better than sitting with thoughts for half an hour. So it's very important to realize the quality of thoughtless awareness it's much more important at the time that we sit in our supposed state of meditation. And another thing that was suggested is when you are beginning, don't sit for too long, because it takes time for our subtle system to get cleared out and for us to feel the bliss of meditation. And when we sometimes set too big a target when we are just starting off, we might become frustrated. Oh, why is it not happening? I'm meditating like so long. Why am I not getting the peace that everybody's talking about? Why am I not feeling the vibrations? So maybe just start off, like, again, coming back to the same point with smaller targets. And something regarding the motivation aspect of how do you keep yourself going, like coming back to meditation each and every day. The point that I could summarize from what everybody said was, try to see yourself. You have to be vigilant about your own practice. Try to see yourself, what unique things, positive things is the practice of Sahaj bringing onto your life. Sometimes we have experiences, but we are too lazy to note it down in our mind or even in our journal, and then we forget it. So what happens is that we don't have anything like an anchor point to refer to know that, okay, this is what happened. This is something that positive happened because I meditated. So those things are really important.
I just muted you. Can unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Yeah. So keeping track of how meditation has been changing your life experiences in a tangible manner. It could be something very small, or could be something really extraordinary. Keeping track of those positive things that happen, maintaining a journal, will help you to, at least understand and mentally understand that what is the importance of meditation. And that will give you the motivation to go back each and every day, at least in the initial phase of it. And after that, there are, other reasons which are, beyond just the logical or mental aspects that will drive you to meditate every day.
Thank you, Nimir, for the summary. And I think we had just one final remark I got from Sweta. She just mentioning Sahaja Yoga, it's so simple. It's just about making the desire to the spirit. So just make the desire to the spirit and all the desires are fulfilled. So if you want to be regular meditation, just put your hand on the heart and say, Mother or the Divine, I just want to be regular meditation, and just ask for it. So I think it's as simple as that. I hope we are able to answer some of the questions. I think we completed 1 hour. I think that was time we kind of allocated for this. It was really lovely to talk to all of you. I wish we could see more people on video. We'll try to do it every once in 3 months. It's really nice to see everyone in person and share their stories. We'd like to conclude with actually a poll once again. We give a lot of advices. So those of you who are new to Sahaja Yoga, do you trust us? Okay, now the trust is very important aspect, because you trust us and you give some time to it, because we trust in what we are telling you. So we just want to know how much you trust, and so that's the poll for you, and that's the final poll. So all the people who are new to Sahaj, please let us know. We share a lot of stories, but will you trust us to try it out? So here's certain options. So those of us following on YouTube, the how much do you trust the Sahaj Yoga meditation community and the advice is given. Option 1 is hard to say. We still need to earn that trust. Option 2 is yes, you trust, but you need to verify. Option C, no one has answered yet. Is yeah, you have some level of trust. And option 4, the final is you very much trust the advice you get from the Sahaj Yoga meditation community. We'll give a minute to answer this one. And everything is fine. If you want to verify, I think that's great. And that's what I think Shri Mataji says, Shri Mataji is the founder of Sahaj Yoga meditation. And she says, don't take my words. You try it out for yourself and trust your own experiences. So yes, we are a scientific community. We believe in experiences. And we hope that you get the kind of experiences that we had in our practice. Okay, so I think 17 people have responded. Great. So thank you everyone for your kind feedback. Now we just like to end with some advice which was given by the founder Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. All of us, we went to the stages, we had a lot of doubts, we need a lot of hand holding. So this is the advice she gave to the Sahaj Yoga meditation practitioners in terms of how we should be helping the new people. Let me read this one out. And says like, you have to be gardener in a garden. She's referring to the Sahaj Yoga practitioners. You have to see how to maintain this garden, how to plant it, how to move it. You will have to think all about it. So she's the guidance for a Sahaj Yoga practitioner in terms of how we'll help other people. You think about it and tell how it can be done. One thing he said is right. I think she's referring to someone else. He was saying that if we give realization and we don't follow up with it, then the realization gets lost. So realization is this awakening of Kundalini energy within us. That's the realization. So we have to follow up on it. We have to follow up, and you as a practitioner, somebody who experiences this thing has to follow up. If we, after giving it, we don't follow up and protect them, we don't look after them, take them forward, it can be that their realization can be lost. So for the newcomers who do not get follow up, who do not get care, who do not get have the question answered, you may lose this self-realization. And then it will awaken again, and then till then they will be in difficulties. So this is a desire, and until our pure desire is not met, we always keep on looking for something. So that's why she's referring that it will again awaken. Until then, they will be in difficulties. So this is the advice I think we got from Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. Alan, if you'd like to kind of give a concluding thought on this one, please.
I honestly don't know what I can say by way of conclusion. If one's desire is strong enough, and you can, in whatever way you can, discipline yourself to trying Sahaj meditation, in my experience, it'll work. It may take a bit of time. I'm telling you, in my case, I could feel nothing on my left channel for more than 2 years, but I kept at it because I knew it was working. And also in my case, and one has to be personal, I was never depressed again. So, a friend of mine used to make a lot of money giving talks to business people. And his talks, if you reduced it to the essence, was the difference between doing it and not doing it is doing it. Well, that's true of Sahaj Yoga. The difference between doing it and not doing it is doing it. So try for yourself as an experiment and see where it leads you, because it's the greatest path that you can take to become a realized soul.
Thank you, Alan. So thank you, everyone. It was great kind of listening to everyone and your inputs. How odd, we talked about meditation. We didn't do the meditation. How about if we just finish this session with 2 minutes of meditation? I'll just play a music here, and for a moment, I'll turn on the chat. So let's meditate for 2 minutes. And once again, I have to say, I thank you all the participants. So great to have you here. Please do follow up with the sessions. Try to join session nearby if you can, or if not online. A lot of sessions are there. And we are always here to help you out. We got a lot of help from others. It's our duty and a responsibility to help other people, just like we got our help out. So thank you, everyone. Just I'll play 2 minutes of meditation, and after that, we'll end this thing and hope we'll see you again sometime soon. Thank you, everyone. You are a lovely participant. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a great meditation journey ahead of you. And that, we can be a partner in the journey for as long as we can be. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
Bye.
Vikram, and all of you.
Yeah,
Have a
anybody
good
can stay back.
meditation journey.
Thank you.
Please don't lose your connection after learning driving. Do keep driving. You have learned driving.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great
Thank you.
suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Those-
Bye-bye, everyone.
Anybody, if you can stay back for a moment.
Sure.
Thank you, Sarah, for helping.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Bernard. Bye, Boscha. Bye, Mary. Mary Birne. Bye, Megha. Bye, Nandini. Bye, Simon. Bye, Vicky. Vicky, we didn't hear from you today. Bye, Pramod. Pramod, I think you came late.
May I leave, Vikram, or?
Hanji, Gauri, you can stay back if you like to.
Okay.
Bye, Mary. Bye, Nandini. Bye, Simon. Bye, Vicky. Bye. Okay, so I think we can just help me in putting the people in the breakout, in the waiting room. Maybe you can do that.
Yeah.
Bye, Nandini. Okay. So I think Nibirji, you can take some notes. जो मेरे को भेज दीजिएगा 7 points, so whatever we get, so we can share with everyone, saying this is
Okay.
the takeaway, from the session. Achhe
Sure.
notes, good tips. So that's one thing. And I think that's about it. Recording we have. So I think I'll